I can remember distinctly, we'd go, and my brother would tell you the same, we went into the malt kilns to play. We'd go into the malt kiln directly at the back of our house, and there were very, very warm places, and that's why we went in, because, you know, on a bitterly cold day and what have you, and the malt kiln men would say, will you go to Flowers' shop for us? Will you go to Mr. Schofield's shop? Because Schofield's shop used to be again Castle Row.
Oh,
that was Mr.
Schofield. Right down there.
Right down Mr. Schofield's shop. And here again, they put their hands on and grip it like that. Hey, all right, Spadge, you know, and things like that. And do as you're told. And there are avenues in Malkills, lanes in Malkills. And if you were on this lane, right, the Malkill man would say, don't go over to where you are because there's a trap door. Right? Don't do that. And providing, we weren't the only boys that played in the Malkills, obviously. Providing you did exactly as you were told, and you had to do that. There's no doubt about it at all, you had to do it. Otherwise, you would have got a clip from them. You certainly got a clip from your parents. That's without a doubt. And I think we had a policeman come down there, and I'll say about that in a moment, but you did exactly as you were told playing in the Malkills, because they were dangerous places. You saw them as a haven of fun, exciting and this, that and the other, but you don't want to lose anybody, and if you would have fallen down the Malkill shaft, then you wouldn't have been going home. I can smell malt now.
All right, yes. So
it stays with you.
Yeah.
It stays with you.
Yeah.
And I sometimes use the expression of a hand the size, because I said earlier I was old-fashioned. I sometimes use the expression a hand the size of a malt shovel. Now everybody hasn't seen a malt shovel, but I have, and I've handled one as well. I can tell you here one of the very happy things. We had a firewood round. I can remember our dad, we were allowed to bundle sticks, never to chop them, never to chop them. We were allowed to bundle the sticks up. But I can remember going out as a 7-year-old, very clearly, very, very distinctly, going round, because my dad made a handcart. He was a pretty handy man, was my dad. Without a doubt. Well, he was a wonderful man altogether, bless him.
And was this from Woodbine Terrace?
It was, yes. We'd set off from Woodbine Terrace, yeah, and we'd go around the streets and so on and so forth, selling bundles of firewood. And that was to supplement our income. I remember the silver snail trails on the flat floor.
In the house?
In the house, yeah. I remember the big pot sink, and I remember that having at least 1.5 inches of ice in it.
Is that in the kitchen?
Absolutely correct. Obviously, you had to go outside to the outside toilets, of course. Now, we shared ours with another family, and I mean, Mum and Dad kept them lovely and clean and so on and so forth. But on a bitter winter's night, or a thick November night when it was foggy, and it was foggy down the wharf, it really was. I mean, people have spoken about pea soupers. They didn't come any thicker. They did not come any thicker. I mean, the danger was, of course, of flooding, and our house did flood. It really did. And to my personal knowledge, I remember it distinctly flooding 3 times. The bedroom door was in the corner, so you went through there, obviously with a big black lead fireplace. But you went through the bedroom door, and we thought it was great fun, of course. Mum and Dad had us sat on the top steps, and we've seen the water coming up the stairs. Now, you think that's fun as youngsters. It's exciting because you've no responsibility, you know anything, Mum and Dad see everything. But the muck and the deluge and the dirt that came out of the River Calder was something not very nice at all.